Energy without direction becomes chaos. It burns out, it spills, it distracts. But when your energy is trained, when you learn how to hold it, move it, circulate it, it becomes a force of clarity. This isn't about force, it's about flow. And it starts with a decision that your energy is worth mastering. Before anything moves, there is silence. Before energy flows, there is awareness. The practice begins not with doing, but with noticing. Noticing your breath. Noticing where your mind drifts. Noticing where you hold tension without realizing it. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is the space where mastery begins. When you return to this place again and again, you build the foundation of a man who knows how to listen, not only to the world, but to his own energy. You can force your body. You can push through pain. You can grind through resistance. But energy? Energy moves differently. It listens more to attention than to pressure. It follows breath, not brute will. If you try to dominate it, it resists. If you invite it gently, it opens. This is the quiet skill most men never learn. That energy, like trust, can't be taken. It can only be welcomed. Every man has a unique rhythm. Your energy doesn't move the way someone else's does. And when you copy others, you lose your own internal music. The breath you hold, the tension you carry, the way you respond when you're alone. These are part of your rhythm. You don't have to change it. You just have to hear it. Because the moment you hear it, you can begin to lead it. The body is not separate from the mind, not even a little. Your thoughts, your stress, your desire to perform, they all show up in the body. When you rush, the body tightens. When you fear, the breath shortens. When you let go of outcome, the body softens. Energy flows better in that softness. You don't have to be a master of energy. You just have to be willing to feel. Let your body become your classroom. Let your attention become your teacher. Every inhale shows you something. Every exhale releases something. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. Presence is where power starts. Stillness isn't empty. It's overflowing. Most men never sit long enough to notice. They fill the silence with noise, the quiet with distraction. But stillness reveals truths you forgot. It reconnects you with breath, with sensation, with the base of who you are. Sit, stay, feel. You're not losing time. You're meeting yourself again. Energy doesn't just live in motion, it lives in pause. Between one breath and the next, something grows. Between one thought and the next, there's space for clarity. Between one touch and the next, there's room for depth. Stop filling every space. Let the space do its work. Your body speaks with perfect honesty. It doesn't fake. It doesn't pretend. If you're tense, if you're exhausted, if you're closed, it shows. The body will whisper the truth to you, if you'll stop trying to silence it. That ache in your back, that breath you keep forgetting to take, those are messages. You don't need to fix them, you need to hear them. Men aren't supposed to be numb, but many are. Not because they failed, but because they were taught to disconnect. You were told to power through pain, to dismiss your own signals, to override softness. But numbness is not a strength, it's a shutdown. Reconnection is strength. Feeling fully, without apology, is power. You've heard just breathe before, but this is different. Don't just breathe. Let the breath lead. Let it guide you through tension. Let it soften your chest. Let it steady your thoughts. The breath is not a backup plan. It's the first teacher. Inhale with awareness. Exhale with trust. Let the breath show you the way. You can lift heavy things, but can you feel while you do it? You can push through discomfort, but can you stay aware while pushing? True strength includes sensitivity, not weakness, awareness. Because the man who can feel, can adapt, can adjust, can lead with calm. Sensitivity is strategy and strength. You don't relax just by wishing for it. It's a practice. Relaxation is what happens when you stop bracing, when you stop performing, when you stop defending. It's what happens when you let the ground hold you, when you let the breath open you. Relaxation is not a reward. It's a learned capacity. Train it. Most men weren't taught that safety could be internal, that you could feel safe in your own skin. Safety wasn't about peace. It was about performance, about guarding, about holding your ground. But there's a deeper safety, a quieter one, the kind that comes from knowing your breath, from inhabiting your body, without shame and without war. You don't have to earn that safety. You're allowed to return to it. You can fake interest. You can fake confidence, but you can't fake presence. Your nervous system doesn't lie. Neither does your gaze. Presence is when you stop thinking ahead and begin arriving now. It's what steadies your voice, what deepens your eyes, what makes people feel you without needing to be loud. True presence is powerful because it's real. If you were taught to feel ashamed, of desire, of softness, of curiosity, that wasn't your fault, but healing it is your freedom. Shame isn't permanent. It's a loop, and loops can be rewired. When you meet the body with respect, when you approach yourself with reverence, the shame begins to loosen. You don't need to reject your past, just rewrite your present. Your nervous system teaches others how to feel. If you're braced, they brace. If you're calm, they soften. Your calmness isn't just personal, it's relational. When you breathe slowly, when you ground yourself, you create space for everyone around you. Calm is not weakness, it's a form of leadership. You're not waiting for someone to say go. You already belong to your body. You already have the right to breathe, to feel, to soften, to awaken. You don't need a gatekeeper. You don't need a ritual. You just need to return. One breath, one moment, one choice at a time. Your reconnection starts now. You don't have to fight your thoughts. You can guide them through breath, through stillness, through motion. The mind often follows what the body leads, so move with intention. Breathe with awareness. Ground your body, and your mind will begin to quiet. Not because you forced it, but because you let it. Healing isn't always explosive. It's often subtle, rhythmic, repetitive. Just like strength is built rep by rep, peace is built breath by breath. When you repeat the right patterns, your nervous system begins to trust them. There's power in that trust, and there's transformation in that rhythm. Stillness isn't absence. It isn't laziness. It isn't passivity. Stillness is a force, a structure, a choice. When you choose to pause, you're not retreating. You're recalibrating. Masculinity doesn't always look like motion. Sometimes it looks like stillness, so grounded it cannot be shaken. Memories aren't just in your mind. They live in the muscles, in the breath, in the posture. That tightness in your chest, that clench in your jaw, that's not random. The body remembers, but it can also release. When you move with care, you're not just stretching tissue. You're rewriting memory. This isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily return. Each day, you get to choose to reconnect, to breathe, to ground, to come home to yourself. Some days it will feel easy, other days hard, but the practice remains. You don't need perfection. You just need consistency. There's a calm power in the masculine. It doesn't sprint toward approval. It doesn't chase for attention. It moves with purpose, with awareness, with a long view in mind. You don't have to prove your strength by how fast you go. You can show it by how steady you remain. Masculine energy knows. The mountain doesn't move, and neither do you. Breath is the gateway to your nervous system, to your energy, to your presence. When you breathe deeply, you're not just calming down, you're reclaiming territory. You're letting your system know that you are here now, that this moment is safe, and that you no longer need to armor up just to exist. You are allowed to feel without shame. Not because you've earned it, not because someone gave you permission, but because it's your birthright. Masculinity is not the absence of emotion. It is the structure that can hold it. You can be powerful and still feel deeply. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Before you can redirect your energy, you must become aware of it. Before mastery comes mindfulness. Notice where your attention goes. Notice where your breath stops. Notice what your body avoids. Control doesn't begin with force. It begins with attention. You do not need to punish yourself to become strong. You do not need to shame yourself to grow. You can hold yourself accountable without tearing yourself down. Masculine strength is not brutality. It is discipline wrapped in care. It's okay to hold yourself with clarity and still speak to yourself with kindness. Stillness is not giving up. It's not weakness. It's not stagnation. Stillness is the pause between storms, the inhale before action, the space where true power gathers. You don't need to be in constant motion to be worthy. You can be still and still be strong. Your energy is precious. Don't waste it on every distraction. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not everything requires your defense. Pause. Feel. Choose how to respond. Masculine strength often looks like restraint, not silence out of fear, but silence born from knowing. There is a difference between release and depletion. So much of your fatigue may not be from doing too much, but from giving away too much carelessly. Your energy is sacred. Your vitality is not disposable. Keep what builds you. Release what empties you. You are not meant to be chaos. You are meant to contain it, to give it form, to direct it toward creation. The masculine is not suppression. It is conscious channeling. Your job is not to silence the wild parts of you, but to structure them so they serve. You are the structure, the grounding, the path. You don't need to dominate others to feel powerful. You don't need to be loud to be heard. Confidence is quiet because it doesn't come from needing to prove anything. The most powerful man in the room is often the one who says the least and means the most. Let your presence speak before your voice does. You've been taught to tighten, clench, brace. But power does not come from tension. It comes from presence. Relaxed strength lasts longer. It moves faster. It flows. Let your body learn that release is not weakness. It's wisdom. Discipline is not punishment. It's not born from hate. It's not self-rejection. Real discipline is love made consistent. It's showing up for yourself, not to fix yourself, but to honor yourself. There is no shame in missing a step, only an invitation to return. You don't need to fake joy, but you can invite it. The inner smile is a quiet awakening. It softens the body. It tells your nervous system, I'm safe here. Even in pain, you can still be kind to yourself. Let the corners of your heart lift, just enough to breathe better. You weren't meant to burn yourself to prove your fire. Masculine energy is not a blaze that consumes. It's a flame that warms. You can be fierce without being cruel. You can be strong without being hard. Let your strength be nourishing. To yourself first. You've held space for others. Now hold space for you. Not to judge, not to fix, just to witness. Your breath is enough. Your presence is enough. This is where healing begins, not with doing, but with allowing. You've spent years overriding your body's signals, pushing past pain, ignoring fatigue. But healing begins when you learn to listen again. To the breath, to the tension, to the stillness. Your body has never stopped speaking. Now, you're just learning how to hear it. There's no timer on healing, no deadline on rediscovery. Your pace is your own. And wherever you are right now, that's the right place to begin. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly on time. For your life. It's not separate from your purpose. It is your purpose. It fuels your creativity. It sharpens your intuition. It deepens your presence. This energy isn't dangerous. It's sacred when it's respected. Mastering it doesn't cage it. It channels it. There is nothing wrong with you. You don't need saving. You don't need fixing. What you need is to return. Return to your center. Return to your breath. Return to the man you already are, beneath the noise. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need 10 years of mastery. You need to show up. One breath at a time, one movement at a time, one moment of presence, again and again. That is your power. That is your practice. That is enough. Your strength was never lost. It was only waiting. Waiting for your presence. Waiting for your return. When you reclaim your energy, you don't just reclaim your power, you reclaim your life. And that reclamation starts now. You don't need to rush. You don't need to prove. Everything you need to become is already within you. Your journey is not to find yourself. It's to remember yourself. And that remembering is already happening. Your breath is more than oxygen. It's your grounding, your tether to the present. When your mind wanders, when emotions rise, return to your breath. It doesn't need to be deep. It only needs to be real. Every inhale is an invitation to come home. You've been told to harden, to tense up, to stay guarded. But real strength isn't loud. It's calm. It doesn't need to dominate. It simply is. Gentleness is not weakness. It's controlled power, and it only comes from inner steadiness. What you focus on grows. Where your attention flows, your life follows. So if you keep feeding stress, you'll become stress. If you start feeding presence, you'll start building energy, real energy. The kind that doesn't crash, because it's coming from within. You don't need to force your energy. You need to feel it, guide it, respect it. This practice is not domination, it's cooperation. You work with your body, not against it. You move with rhythm, not rigidity. And in that balance, you find freedom. You've searched outside for years, for approval, for peace, for answers. But the most powerful truth is this: what you've been looking for was always inside you. You are the source of your energy, of your peace, of your transformation. And now, you're finally ready to live from it. You've been taught that strength is loud, that it looks like motion, that it demands attention. But your deepest strength, it rises in stillness, it arrives in silence, it awakens when the world quiets down. This stillness isn't emptiness. It's presence, it's awareness. It's the moment when your energy finally returns to you. When you stop chasing, you start becoming. And from this stillness, you can build a life of unshakable power. You give your energy to deadlines, to arguments, to expectations. And piece by piece, you leak what was once yours. No one ever taught you how to keep it, how to build it, how to circulate it back into your own life. But the man who masters his energy masters everything else. You don't need a guru. You don't need a retreat. You don't need a mountaintop. What you need is to sit with yourself and listen. Because cultivation doesn't begin in temples. It begins in your breath, in your spine, in your awareness. Right here, right now. You scroll, you binge, you chase pleasure that fades fast. But underneath the distraction, there's a deeper hunger, a quiet longing for mastery. You don't want more noise. You want meaning. You want to feel full without having to consume everything. You're ready to choose depth. Most men live in reaction, triggered by the world, pulled by every current. But a cultivated man lives in direction, rooted, steady, aware. He doesn't need to dominate. He simply does not sway. This is not suppression. It's precision, and it changes everything. You are not separate from your body. It is not a machine, not a burden. It's a gateway, a temple, a compass. Your body knows what your mind forgets: how to move energy, how to store it, how to circulate it. All it needs is your attention. You breathe all day. But have you ever breathed with intention? Have you ever inhaled power and exhaled stillness? One breath, fully lived, can reset your nervous system. You don't need permission, just pause and breathe like your energy depends on it, because it does. You've been trained to spend time, energy, focus. But cultivation begins when you store, when you build, when you hold. Your power grows when you stop giving it away to every craving, every distraction, every urge. Preserve it, let it compound, become wealth in the form of energy. There was a fire in you once, untouched, unashamed, unapologetic. You didn't lose it. It got buried, under routine, under shame, under silence. but that fire still lives in you, and when you reclaim it, your presence becomes magnetic. Not loud, but undeniable. Some men chase energy, others borrow it, but the cultivated man, he circulates it. Through breath, through focus, through presence. He doesn't run out, because he doesn't leak. He refines, reclaims, recycles, and becomes a generator of power. You don't need to speak to lead. You don't need a title or applause. Real leadership begins in energy, in integrity, in the quiet way you carry yourself when no one is watching. You become a guide, not by telling others where to go, but by becoming someone worth following. Stillness is not weakness. It's not passivity. It's not emptiness. Stillness is the charging dock of your nervous system, the generator of your clarity, the beginning of power. Stillness lets you feel where your energy is leaking, and from there, you begin to rebuild. Burnout isn't a badge, it's a signal that your fire's been burning with no container. You weren't designed to run dry. You were meant to flow, to regenerate, to thrive with strength that cycles through you, not drains from you. This is not your end. It's your turning point. Your mind races, it calculates, it commands. But your mind is not the master. It's a tool, and when left unsupervised, it runs you in circles. Energy mastery begins when awareness takes the lead, when you stop believing every thought and start listening to the body again. Before movement, before breath, before practice, comes focus. Focus is where all power begins, because if your mind is scattered, your energy is too. You build strength by bringing your mind home to this moment, again and again. You've been taught hardness is strength, that tension is masculine, that force means control. But real strength lives in softness, in flow, in calmness under pressure. Power doesn't need to clench. It breathes, it adapts, it endures. You feel more than you think. You notice more than you say. That's not a flaw. That's refinement. Sensitivity is what lets you direct your energy precisely, instead of spilling it aimlessly. Learn to feel deeper, not less, because your power grows where your awareness sharpens. Reading isn't enough. Knowing isn't enough. You have to feel it, live it, breathe it. Embodiment isn't something you perform, it's something you become. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, you no longer need to prove anything, you just are. Discipline is not punishment. It's not restriction. It's not sacrifice. It's devotion. It's self-respect. It's saying dash dash, I'm worth showing up for. The man who disciplines his energy becomes unstoppable because he no longer waits for permission to rise. Your nervous system remembers old habits, old reactions, old fears, but it can also relearn. It can rewire. It can rebuild a new baseline, one of calm, power presence. Every conscious breath is an act of nervous system revolution. You don't need a perfect morning. You don't need a grand gesture. You need a return, every day, to what builds you. Discipline is not one great leap. It's many small returns. And over time, those daily practices make you a man no storm can shake. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. It's not just a saying, it's a reality. Focus on stress, and you tighten. Focus on power, and you expand. Your attention is the steering wheel. Use it with intention. Use it with respect. When your thoughts are scattered, breathe. When your emotions overwhelm you, breathe. When your body feels disconnected, breathe. The breath is the thread that weaves it all back together. It brings you home, again and again. You can't expand upward until you root downward. You ground to stabilize. You ground to stop spinning. You ground to remember what you stand for. Without grounding, your energy scatters. With grounding, your energy becomes a force. You can fake a smile, you can say you're okay, but your body tells the truth. In tension, in posture, in the breath you've been holding all day. Listen to it. It's not trying to betray you. It's trying to free you. That thing you avoid, that tension you feel, that hesitation to sit in stillness, that's not failure, that's resistance, and it holds your next breakthrough. The energy you're resisting is the energy you're meant to work with. You were born with a well of energy, a deep reservoir of strength. It's not gone, it's just been buried, under noise, stress, and distraction. Your practice is not to invent it, it's to uncover it. Rest isn't laziness. Rest isn't giving up. Rest is repair. Rest is preparation. Rest is mastery. When a man knows how to rest, he knows how to rise. In silence, you hear what noise tried to hide. You hear the body's wisdom. You hear the mind's patterns. You hear the truth beneath the surface. Silence isn't empty. It's the dojo of energy mastery. Masculine energy isn't loud. It isn't rigid. It isn't about control. It's the still mountain beneath the storm, the grounded presence in chaos. It's the energy that holds, not to dominate, but to direct. You don't need fixing. You need reconnecting. Back to your breath. Back to your center. Back to your strength. Energy mastery isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming fully you. Stuck energy doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits in your shoulders, in your gut, in the ache behind your eyes. Movement isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's energetic. Let it move through you. Let it transform you. It doesn't shout. It doesn't seek applause. It breathes deeply. It listens longer. It chooses when to act and when to wait. Mastery isn't about noise. It's about depth. No relationship can center you. No job can anchor you. Because your center dash has always been yours. It's found in stillness, revealed in breath, built in practice. Return to it. Every day. You have thoughts, but you are not them. You have fears, but you are not fear. You are the witness, the space behind the noise. Your energy expands when you remember this. Every pause is a rep. Every breath held in awareness, a flex of your inner muscle. You don't have to move to grow. You only need to stay, present, rooted, unshaken. This is how your strength becomes unbreakable. It's not the thing blocking your energy. It's the gateway. When you listen to it, you learn where the flow is blocked. When you honor it, you restore the flow. The body is the beginning of freedom, not the end. What happened before dash is information, not a prison. Your energy responds to your now, to your choice, to your breath. Let go of what drained you. Choose what builds you. It's not something you do when you have time. It is the source of time, the source of clarity. Everything good in your life grows from your energy state. Train it like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. When everything else feels out of reach, your breath is not. It doesn't judge, it doesn't rush, it waits. It says, I'm still here. Come back to yourself. You don't need to force your power, you only need to feel it. It's not made from effort, it's made from presence. The more deeply you feel, the more powerfully you live. Tension in your body, it's not random. It's the dam holding back your river. Release it gently, breathe into it, and watch your life start moving again. It can look like stillness, like calm, like a man breathing deeply in the face of chaos. The world may not notice, but you'll feel the current. True power is quiet, but it moves mountains. This breath dash, this rep dash, this moment is building the man you're becoming. Not someday, now. Stay with it. This is the path. It will offer distractions, stories, fears. Let them pass. Each time you stay present, you reclaim another piece of yourself. Long before words, you knew this language. The pulse of aliveness, the wisdom of breath. Trust it. It remembers things your mind forgot. Not leak it, not chase it, contain it. Hold it like a vessel holds flame, stable, focused, alive. You don't need more power. You need to learn how to keep it. When you're still, you see more. When you're still, you feel more. Stillness isn't emptiness, it's awareness. And awareness is the beginning of everything. To your breath, to your center, to your knowing. This is where the journey always leads. Back to yourself. Welcome back. Now, stay. There is a kind of strength that doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't rush. It doesn't fight to be seen. It moves through the world like water, gentle but unshakable. This is the strength you're building, a power that doesn't come from tension, but from relaxation. Not from resistance, but from awareness. Every time you breathe with presence, every time you choose stillness over reaction, you deepen this strength. And that quiet strength, it will change everything. You don't need to push your energy to feel powerful. You don't need to strain to feel alive. Your energy is not something you dominate. It's something you guide. When you tense your body, you block the very power you're trying to reach. When you relax with full awareness, you open the gates of your internal power. This is the practice. Letting energy flow like a river through a wide-open channel, unblocked, unforced, but fully alive. This isn't weakness. This is true energetic control. Your breath is not just air moving in and out. It is the link between your body and your mind. When your breath is shallow, your thoughts scatter. When your breath is deep, your mind anchors. Your breath tells your energy where to go. It softens tension. It builds internal heat. It centers your awareness in the present. This is your practice now. To breathe like a man who lives fully inside his body. Not to chase peace, but to become it. You don't need to run from intensity anymore. Your body can feel deeply, without losing control. You've been trained to fear your own energy, to silence it, to numb it. But this practice teaches you to meet it head-on. with presence. Sensation is not the enemy. Disconnection is. Your power lies in your ability to feel fully without being swallowed. You are not floating in chaos. You are grounded, rooted. There is a structure beneath your movement, a center beneath your emotions. When you feel overwhelmed, return to your lower abdomen. Feel the weight of your body. Feel gravity reminding you that you are here. This center is your anchor. Come back to it, again and again. That's how you become immovable. Your energy isn't trapped in your head. It lives in every inch of your body. Most men only feel a fraction of their own aliveness, because they only live from the neck up. But you're waking that up now. You're feeling your chest, your belly, your arms, your back, your legs, like they've all just come online. This is embodiment. This is presence. This is where your real power lives. When you walk, when you speak, when you move through your life, stay connected to your center. Don't just react. Don't just go through the motions. Move like your body matters, like your energy is precious. Carry your awareness in your lower belly. Let that quiet power guide your steps. This is what separates empty motion from powerful presence. There is nothing fragile about gentleness. There is nothing weak about stillness. When your awareness rests like a calm lake, you see everything more clearly. Let your energy move without force. Let your thoughts rise and fall without grasping. This is the discipline, to hold a soft gaze inward, to stay aware without chasing, to act from clarity, not reaction. That's the kind of presence men around you will feel, even when you say nothing. The power is not in building more intensity. The power is in learning how to circulate it. When you feel that rising charge, don't push it down and don't let it explode. Guide it, lift it, move it through your spine like a river flowing upward. From your base, to your belly, to your chest, to the space between your eyes. This is how you transform raw energy into clarity, confidence, and creative force. You don't have to tense your jaw to be powerful. You don't have to squeeze your fists to be grounded. Let go of the habit of gripping. True strength is not found in contraction. It's found in openness that can't be shaken. Soften your stomach. Relax your shoulders. Feel the weight of your body without fighting it. Now feel that strength returning. Calm, quiet, unmistakable. This is the strength you've always had. You're just finally allowing it. You are no longer controlled by the chaos around you. You are not the storm. You are the calm within it. When the world rushes, you slow down. When noise rises, you breathe deeper. This doesn't make you passive. It makes you precise. You act from stillness, not from panic. And that's what gives your presence weight. Too many men decide before they feel. They act before they check in. But this path teaches you to reverse that. Feel first. Drop into your belly. Listen to your breath. Only then, choose your direction. Only then, speak, move, lead. When you lead from sensation, not fear, you begin to live with deeper precision. This is how you become deeply alive and deeply trustworthy. You can't transform what you refuse to feel. You must feel it, fully, before you can move it. This is the path. You sense the energy, not to control it, but to guide it like a river through the valley. Start with the breath. Then feel the pulse in your hands, your belly, your chest. This is not about escaping the body. It's about coming home to it. Only what's felt can be changed. Only what's embraced can be lifted. Between your thoughts and your body, there's breath. Between the moment and your power, there's breath. It's the bridge, and it's always there. When the charge rises, when the tension grows, when the urge to escape or explode hits, go to your breath. Lengthen it. Drop it low into your belly,